Alright, hey there sports fans, this is Josh from Tribute Cycling, and here we are back with the CBR series, race number 6, the finale. Bit of a different start for us today. We did a rolling lap, lead out, with the rolling start, which I kind of like better. Give everybody chance to get rolling. That's just me personally. So over the last 5 races previous, I'd been trying out different tactics and strategies, seeing what worked and didn't work for me. Being unattached, not really knowing anybody over here. During some of those times, I did not come into the race prepared, or was under the weather. Whatever the reason was, things didn't really work out. Sometimes it was the strategy, sometimes it was me, but in the end of the day, they didn't work. So I changed up my strategy a little bit. I noticed there's this young man that had been pretty successful, and I realized what he was doing was being patient and trying to use his strengths and weaknesses against the other riders, and was having some good success. So I kind of took a page from his book, and my strategy today was to just stay in the back, do as little work as possible, and sit on and wait for my time. My time to shine is at the end of the race. So I wanted to conserve as much energy as possible. My goals were to put out the least amount of power I'd put out in any of my races. I wanted my cadence to be the same, if not better, and I wanted my heart rate to be the lowest it had been for the race, all 6 races, and try to increase my speed if possible with that going on. So surprisingly enough, I was able to accomplish this goal that I had set for myself throughout the race with each one of the bullet points I have laid out. My power was 20 watts less than it had ever been. I averaged 191 watts of power for the race. My heart rate, average BPM, was 153. So that is a 20 beats per minute drop from my average of the previous races. And my cadence, well, it was a 76, so that's about where I'd been with all the previous races. I really do want to work on getting a better cadence and feel for that. So that's something I'm going to be working on this off season. This was my last race of the season, unless something changes and I can get a late race in the end of the season. But for now, this was it. So I wanted to go out there and just have a really good time, have fun, enjoy myself, be in the moment, and just be ready for anything. So this was by far the most present mentally I'd been in the races so far. I was really just living in the moment. There was a guy in the race, Brandon. This was only his 3rd race. He was pretty green. He hadn't stayed in a group. He'd been dropped pretty early in the races previous. So I just wanted to give him some tips. There he is on my right there. Yeah, just wanted to give him some little tips and advice to stay with the group for the duration of the race. And so I just coached him up here and there before the race, gave him some tips and instructions from what little bit of knowledge I have in my experience. But just tried to be supportive of him as others were for me. Kind of pay it forward. When you're new into this sport like I am, and the rest of us in this races are, we're competitive, we're out there to win, we're out there to go hard, go fast, but we're also, we're the ones footing the bill for everything. So we just, let's have some fun too. And I wanted him to have an enjoyable experience and keep him coming back for more. So I just did what I could for him and told him to keep close to me as much as he possibly could, and I'd keep an eye on him. Got a couple of my allies in there: Joseph, Pablo, their buddy, Nacho, Juan, couple other guys, Kenneth and Christopher from Major Motion. I really liked racing with those guys.
Man, living my dreams.
Number 48.
How about you?
Drawing a blank on his name right now, like a jerk. And then I saw a couple faces that I really, I knew that they were, squirrely riders. I've seen them, and just tried to be aware of them and know that they're out there. Got Nacho moving up on the right side with the blue stripes going up the road.
The gas pedal down today, don't we?
Juan was feeling kind of spicy today in the race. He told me afterwards that he had an upset stomach and was not feeling good whatsoever and was trying to burn it out of him. But he ultimately said that it really had an effect on his race, and that was unfortunate. I was really hoping to work with him a little bit more, but he wanted to try and do his own thing and get the bugs sorted out. So, I just focused on me and the other guys around me that, just tried to work together when we could, but my goal wasn't really about anything other than just sitting on the back. Let everybody else do all the work. And I gotta say, it was, pretty casual Sunday ride. It was pretty surgy during the race. There was points where, in the beginning we were going pretty hard up at the front. It was easier for me in the back. You can watch my numbers, ebb and flow going through the turns especially. But, I could see the guys up front were really working hard, and then, after 5-10 minutes, they really let up on the pace, and there was points where we were just crawling. It felt like we were not putting down any sort of pace or tempo, and getting Pablo here, protecting my front wheel, getting back on our buddy's wheel. That rider to the left in the red top, he was a sketchy guy all race series, and so there's Pablo giving him a press, warning him that he's there. We're putting ourselves on the gutter side, yes, but we're also going to try and hold our wheels. So I'm encouraging Pablo to grab his wheel up there. We kind of fall off because that guy in the red velo, whatever. He just was weird. And then we got Joseph right here in the lime green bike. We'll see him later at the end of the race. Unfortunately, we didn't get to bring him across the line. He had an issue. But yeah, I've just fallen as far back as I can. There's only 30 riders roughly in today's race, so there's only so far you can fall back.
Doing good, Brandon. Doing good.
So a good section of this track had been recently resurfaced, which was really awesome. It was nice and grippy and smooth. You could really put it through turn 1 and out of turn 2. The one thing was there was a lot of, with the fresh tarmac, there was lots of little pebbles that would get kicked up from time to time. I took a couple little rocks to the face, but all in all, it was, you know, I love this course. Carson course is a lot of fun. Fast, with just a little bit of technical as far as the undulation goes. So this was a really uneventful race. There wasn't a whole lot of crazy action. It was your typical stuff, you know. You had your riders here and there occasionally attacking off the front, trying to start a breakaway or a surge or whatever they were thinking in their heads. But nobody really got away. Nothing got more than 5 seconds out in front of us. So it was pretty easy going. You had the front guys kind of forming up, but you know, nothing serious. So this is pretty much how the race will go until the final couple laps. So I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the video with you and shut up for a while and you know, kind of just let you guys have at it. Alright, so I found my target here. I found who I wanted to be around. Yeah, it's that little tiny guy on the right in the gray top, black shorts. That young man right there is the one I've been talking about. I found him, so I'm marking him. He's my target. He's the one I'm going to have on my radar for the rest of the day.
On your right, on your right.
So here comes my buddy Juan up the right, and right here I was hoping that he was kind of ready to start doing some work with me. So I pull in behind him, and I'm just having an absolute ball. So I'm waving at his camera, making faces, and I'm ready to rock now. We're getting to the final 5 laps to go. So I'm like, all right, here we go. And was really ready and hoping that it was time to make our move. So I've seen here that I've moved pretty far up. I'm at the front. I'm top 15 right here. I'm in a really good position. You saw me surge there, and I let up because I'm not even close to ready to move up to the front. I want to sit on and wait to the last possible minute and make my move then. I wanted to, just conserve as much as possible. So I let up and I get back into line. Juan's still doing all right here, so I'm trying to hang on to him. Ken wants in, and so does Nacho. I let Ken slide in from Major Motion. We'd been working really well together, so I let him have it. And there's my young man on the left, and there goes Joseph. So I know it's getting close to time, and time's starting to run out, but I don't want to do any more work than I have to. I got Juan up ahead, hoping that he'll be ready to battle. He'll form a good line. I got Pablo's 2 teammates coming up on my right, or at least one of them. So now we're getting close to the final. Things have started to pick up a little bit. Peloton has gotten pretty nervy, and everybody's trying to move up and situate themselves up at the front. Nobody wants to do any work for anybody else, so there's a big scatter right there. But we force the guys up front to stay up front and kind of fall into line. Got one rider up ahead. But things are starting to ramp up a little bit. All right, here we are crossing the line. 3 to go. Just 3 laps. That's all that's left. Now I know it's time for me to get closer up to the front, so I'm gonna slowly and casually work my way up here. Got guys trying to echelon and shake people off their tire. We got the group starting to form up at the front. These are going to be the guys to battle it out at the end. They're trying to make their move and get away, make the cream rise to the top. So everybody's jockeying around, and then all of a sudden we pull up. It just basically stopped. And you got this guy up front, and the way we're playing, that's enough to stay away, as long as he doesn't implode. and he implodes.
Whoa! Watch where
And
you're
then he's
going,
not paying.
going
Oh
forward.
man, he's looking left and almost sweeps the rider out in the white and bronze bottoms. I gave him a yell there.
Final 2, boys. Let's have some fun.
So yeah, we're coming up to 2 to go, and you know I'm just having a ball. So I yell up to the guys up here. You know, these are the final 2. Let's have some fun, and let's do it to it. So, you know, everybody's starting to get hyped. Everybody wants a piece of action, and the pace is really picking up a little bit here. And the who's who is starting to come up. All right, so it's here. We got a lap and a half to go. And I start looking around and I realize I am way out of position. I need to be further up and definitely not be boxed in. It's time for me to start thinking about making my move. And I'm looking around, coming up here to turn 3 and eventually into turn 4. Just trying to, you know, see who's around me, who's up front, who's behind me, and get ready to make my move. It's getting to be my time to shine. And I'm starting to see my exit here. I'm looking for one person in particular. I'm going to try and use him up if he's still here. I'm looking for Brandon. He'd been holding strong, and there's my buddy Brandon. So I wave him into the front of me, pull up alongside of him, whispered to him, and I wanted him to go up. So I gave him, you know, I told him to pull me up to the front, move up, and he gave a good kick. I stayed right there with him, and now our boys on the right. Now it's time to getting spicy. Got Brandon pulled me up to the front. He did good, and I see him starting to struggle now, looking down. So I give him a thumbs up as I go by. And this is the group right here. This is who I want to be with. I got my buddy Joseph on the right. I'm going to use him up next. Once we get through this turn, I'm going to pull in behind him, and he's going to be my guy. So Joseph takes it wide, and man, Joseph just jumped it. So I'd find out after the race that he pinched a flat going through the turn, and it launched him into a pedal strike. He got some really good air there. I'm really glad he held it up. So, but now we're back. We've got the last of the last. We're duking it out. We got those 3 up front, and they're battling. And I'm trying to wind it up. I need a long wind up, so I'm trying to get my motor revved and start spinning. But I'm having trouble holding the wheels because of how my effort takes. Here I am coming out of turn 4, and I'm starting to really get it wound up now. And here I go. I'm going to give it all the kicking I have in me. I'm going to grab gears and grab whoever I can. I edge out just a couple guys on my left, and there's the young man. I almost got him at the line. He got me though, and I'll finish top 9 in the race. Oh, what a spectacular race. I felt amazing the entire race. I definitely could have gone out there and done it again afterwards. The preparation, the feeling on the bike was just absolutely amazing. Great job to everybody out there. That was an amazing race, and everything worked out great. Everybody came home safe. Saw my buddy Joe. He was in this back straightaway right here. It was a real shame. I was really hoping to
Nice work, brother.
bring Joe with me and, battle out, but that's racing. That's racing.
I feel you. I'm like, it's too crowded. Yeah. I was looking at it for an escape route. No. Dude, this guy made a hell of a save. He pedal struck.
I remember green, that's why I was like, 28, 30?
Popped it.
Shit, man.
Hey man, he made a hell of a save.
Yeah. Seriously, no, I saw his screen go in the air.
Woo!